I do believe that the NHL draft for the last 5 years has been rigged. Ever since they brought, obviously the NBA format to the NHL, it's made it worse. And again, I understand that the NHL wants Chicago to be a good team again. It's a big city for hockey. It's a big city for basketball. We all know that. They obviously have a great player over there in Connor Bedard, who's fantastic. You know he's going to be a superstar in this league for many, many years to come. And having like a Macklin Celebrini to play with him, that would be fucking fun. It would be sensational to watch. But my thoughts here is, and John Buccigross, Buccigross, and I remember John Buccigross, as a broadcaster, he probably knew the order. I think that they've known the order for the last. I know they knew the order for the first 2 hours of this whole lottery. So I do believe the NHL did rig this, and I think it is rigged. I do. I think these lotteries have absolutely been rigged. The NBA. I mean, everybody keeps saying, well, why doesn't the Knicks ever win the lottery? Yeah. The only time they won the lottery is when they rigged it. They won the lottery when they got Patrick Ewing. So the Knicks have never won the lottery since then. Is that a coincidence? How about this? As you think it's a coinky-dink that the Cavaliers, when they were as bad as they were, their godsend, their son of Ohio was the number one pick. King James was the number one pick when they drafted him, when they were the worst team in the NBA. You think that was a coinky-dink?
And then they got it 2 out of the 4 years after LeBron left.
After he left. You think that's a coincidence? By the way, they struck out on that one too.
Kyrie Irving and then the great Anthony Bennett.
I mean, yeah. I don't think it's a coinky-dink. I don't think it's a coincidence that this has been going on. Now, everybody's going to say that the NBA has a way of doing it, and they have, they're depending on how many balls are in there, depending on where you finished in the league. If you're the worst team, you get like 24 balls, and if you're the second worst team, you get like 20 balls, and then every other team gets like 10 or 15, whatever it is. All right. To me, there's only two people in the room when they're pulling out those balls. Who's to say that the league doesn't know and where those balls are going? I think this lottery thing definitely affects the leagues. It definitely has affected the NHL. It's affected the NBA. And again, I don't like it. I think they need to go back to, and I understand they're trying to protect these teams for choking at the end of the season. Right. And they've been doing that. So figure out another way to do these lotteries. Now the MLB's doing it. Yep. Now the MLB has a lottery. You think it's fair? Who won the lottery last year? I don't know who won the lottery last year. Who won the lottery?
The MLB, I don't even remember. Their draft is so meaningless. It's like,
but it's not meaningless because
no, it's not. But
you look at these
100-something rounds.
I mean, look at Baltimore for years. They got the number one pick. They had Machado. Now they have Jack Holiday and all these other guys that they have. Yeah. All these guys that they're drafting because they're such a bad team and a bad organization. Now, you look at the NHL. The Sharks are a terrible organization. You think it's a coincidence that the NHL wanted this kid, Celebrini, to go to San Jose? No, they want San Jose to be good again. They want him to be good again. They want him to be competitive because they haven't been competitive for 2 years. How about the Rangers getting Capo Caco, and then the next year they get Lafreniere? And that was because the Rangers were a terrible team. And for 3 years, and the NHL doesn't want the Rangers to be a bad team. Panarin had a choice to go to the Rangers or the Islanders. He picked the Rangers. Why? Because it's in MSG. It's in Madison Square Garden. That's why he picked him. And the NHL and Gary Bettman knows that the hockey in the NHL isn't good if the Rangers aren't good. So this is what's been going on, and that's a big problem. But with the New York Knicks, for years, the Knicks never get the number one pick. They're the worst team in the NBA, and they draft Porzingis at 4 when they could have gotten the number one pick.
And there's also a lot of these secondary markets, too.
Karl Anthony Towns could be a Knick right now.